Yeah, Bandeli L in the house. Aqua Gunner. Bitcoin ballin'. Bring it to you raw. Here we go. Here we go. Bitcoin ballin', gonna chat callin', what you need, baby, I got you. Bitcoin ballin', Aqua we all in. It's our time, no more sleeping. We ballin', we ballin'. Bitcoin ballin'.
We ballin' and ballin'. On the stream here.
Bitcoin ballin', gonna chat callin', what you need, baby, I got you. Bitcoin ballin', Aqua we all in. It's our time, no more sleeping. We ballin', we ballin'. Bitcoin ballin'. You're sleeping.
Technical
Bitcoin
difficulties here, guys.
ballin'. Billy in my pocket, moving like stock.
Go ahead and mute the music.
I am the bank
Yeah,
and I got it on lock.
Just here's the gear on the camera, and then find it again. So today, welcome everybody. Welcome. So we're no longer giving David a camera. Yes, number one. David no longer gets a camera. So this is going to be the best show we've ever recorded. Because you know why? Because you're going to get nothing but your boy on camera today, baby. Or if you guys want to see David pull up next to me here while we film, put a one in the chat. If we have like a dual co-host stand where we have me here on the left side and then we got David over here on the right side. David's crawling around the floor here. What's the issue? It doesn't matter if you unplugged it from the other side. Here, David, why not? I know how to troubleshoot all this shit. Just get over here, take over the show, do the intro. I'll get the cameras going. David, just come over here. Do the show.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Dave, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. What's up, crypto fam? So we're having some difficulties here, but we got our boy Big Rob on the ones and twos. Anyway, so I feel this feels weird standing here. I don't like it. Anyways, how y'all doing today? Bitcoin's tanking, but we ain't tanking. We up, baby. So, look, Rocco, let's look at what the markets are doing. Pull up Robin's laptop. And the laptop isn't in it. All right, so Robin's plugging the laptop in. We're gonna go ahead and if you don't fix this camera, I swear to God. All right, pull up the laptop. All right. So big news coming out of Fidelity today, except for the fact that Bitcoin went the opposite way. So we are down over 3% over the last 24 hours. We're sitting at $38,274 with a market cap of $727 billion. ETH under 3K, 2857. And then you have BNB sitting at 388. Now, during the show today, I will be highlighting 3 coins that I am looking to buy with this market dip. And we're going to be using our friend Forrest Crypto Stacker's website to find out what are good entry points, what are the risk to reward ratios on some of these coins we're looking at buying. But that'll be towards the end of our segment during the market analysis part of our show. Let's give a quick shout out to the chat. HP, first in the chat, said he can't stay. So, HP, welcome. Crypto Geek, Brokioshi, Will, why you loud? We ain't loud, you loud. We're good? Chef Murder, and then Robin, take over.
All right, go ahead, put me front and center, baby. All right. We good? All right.
That was exciting.
So, sorry about that, guys. A little technical difficulties on the cameras. Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Next thing you know, Robin's going to be like, hey, bro, we need a new camera. And there goes another
Yeah.
$3,000.
Camera went down. David got hella nervous, bro. Did y'all see that? Did y'all feel like
I was really nervous.
I'm like, yo, calm down, man.
It was all
Just-
this red.
Just say hi to the fucking chat. Like, you know, like say what's up.
Never done this before. So
Talk about where
I'm
price of
extremely
Bitcoin
nervous.
is. And yeah, I'm like, man, this dude's crumbling under pressure. He's crumbling like
the
Bitcoin's
markets.
price, bro.
The market's crumbling. Your boy crumbling with it.
So,
Shit.
if you just tuned in, we're just a little camera difficulties, but anyways, we're back on track. So, hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information. We package it up in a fun and sexy way. We don't just do live streams. We also do the deep dives. Just the live stream, don't check out the deep dives. So, we already gave the shout out to the chat. So, HP, congratulations for being the first on here. So, back to my charts.
I didn't finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Chef Murder, Marking Mark, Lala Bell, Sir Babe, and that's it. And Daniel.
I kicked my camera when I was trying to set up yours, so now I'm crooked. Irritates me. So, anyways, taking a look at the markets, pulling up the Bitcoin chart here. We are in a massive sell-off right now. So we started this morning at 40,000, and we are now at 38. So this is the daily chart here.
Are you surprised?
Well, as
With
we
the big news
always
coming out.
say here, what is going on with the traditional markets? Where is NASDAQ at, for an example? Minus 3.2%. This is the largest sell-off I've seen on NASDAQ in recent times. I think it was once earlier this year. Taking a look. Where is it at? So we did have a big sell-off over here. Was it in January?
Well, we had a big sell-off on the 21st of April. That saw us take a L of about 3.76%. And right now we're down 3.6,
3.17.
Yeah.
So down a lot right now. Taking a look at the crypto bubbles, everything's in the red with the exception of Graph. What's going on in Graph? Is there something going on? I'm assuming so. If they're up 9%, the rest of the market's bleeding. Something probably broke out with Graph. We'll take a look at it. But anyways, Graph is up, and that's about it. What's KNC? Kyber Network. I don't even know what that is. All right, so Graph up. For the week, Ape Token is still up, and that's about it. So right now, we are on a sell-off until the markets, until the traditional markets here kind of find themselves. We're going to be in the sell-off. So I wouldn't expect to bounce back until NASDAQ kind of levels out at 1%, less than 1% loss, or maybe gets back in the green. Now, taking a look at Crypto Fear and Greed Index, this updates in 6 hours, so I'm sure at this point tomorrow we're gonna have a lot lower number. But
It'll be under 20.
Going into the market before Wall Street opened up, we're sitting at 27. So in the fear, I keep saying this is a great time to buy. I think we're gonna be in this. I think we're gonna hit that 36K mark on Bitcoin. What do you think, David? So I've been eyeballing this $36,000 buy range on Bitcoin. I got some cash set on the side that's I've been holding on to it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks almost, and I'm like, man, this thing's gonna go down to 36.
Well, 37.7.
I think it'll probably get down to 32. I'm just happy buying at 36. You know what? I'm happy buying Bitcoin at any price. I mean, I dollar cost average anyways. But
here, pull up my my laptop real quick. I got the Bitcoin chart in here. So the next level of support is this trend line right here, which is if I do this little price bubble, 37,765. So that's the next target. If we break under that, then yes, 36. And if we break under 36, then you're looking at 29.5 or 29.3. So Told you this this massive bull flag or this massive bear flag, we broke under it. So there we go.
You know, a lot of people put one in the chat when I asked if we want to do the co-host at the standing desk.
Yeah, I'm good.
You know,
I like my chair.
if you want to,
I don't like standing up. How do you stand up and talk? I don't like that.
Well, you're tall, so if you didn't notice, when David was doing the show, he was like this.
Odd noise to make.
That's what I hear out of your mouth. all day.
I don't know. You say I look like a llama. You say apparently I sound like a seal or a water buffalo or a manatee.
What is a water buffalo anyway? Oh, that's the shaggy looking ones with the horns out. Okay.
So are you gonna buy at 37?
No, I'm literally gonna.
So you're gonna wait 1,000?
I'm buying half of my. I haven't set my limit orders, but I think I'm gonna buy half at 36, and then the other half, I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy it at maybe every $1,000 interval down. What do you think?
Half at 36, and
then half at 36, and then.
I think
10% at 35, 10% at 34, 10% at 33. 30%.
I think high 37s is a better bet, honestly. Because look,
I mean, I'm fine. I'm not itching to buy it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we've tested this downtrend line 3 times.
So here's my question: in the next 1 year, is it going to hit 36,000?
Yes.
Okay, then that's.
I think it'll hit 20,000.
This is all my long term. This isn't trading.
20.
This isn't trading for me. I literally just liquidated some stuff, stable coined, and now I'm just gonna move it into Bitcoin. So for me, I'm just trying to find a nice little buy target, and I think 36 is good. That's where I'm comfortable.
Yeah,
buying it. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it, man. On the traditional markets, on my side.
Okay. Now we'll get into more TA and kind of what we're looking to buy during this market dip towards the end of our show during the market analysis. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So with the market overview out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our very first segment, or the next segment, the hot take.
It's hot.
So our hot take for today is this. So Rocco, if you will pull out my laptop for 2 seconds. So looking at the number 6 spot, we have Solana. But there's not a lot separating 6 to 9. So you have Solana sitting at number 6, 32 billion. XRP, 31 billion, sitting at number 7. Terra Luna, 31 at number 8. And then Cardano at 28. So the hot take is this. Which coin or which project will take over the number 6 spot by the end of 2022? Right now it's Solana. Will someone usurp them, or will they stay number 6, Robin?
Will the real number 6 please stand up? And the real number 6 is the number 6, which is Solana. Thriving, growing ecosystem that has already had its pullback and it's ready for the next pump. And going through the 2022, there's no better choice but Solana. And I think long-term, Cardano. I think short-term, 2022, Solana. There's a lot of institutional buzz. When you hear the likes of Kevin O'Leary discussing the institutional adoption of other projects outside of Bitcoin, for some reason, Solana always gets thrown in the mix. So the smartest people in the room, the big financial players, are interested in Solana, and they're picking that up. You hear Ethereum, you hear Solana. I never hear the big wigs talk about Ethereum and Cardano when they're discussing portfolios. And that's because Cardano seems to be a retail. It's all retail. You know, you hear about the Cardano community. It's just these people that, now we love Cardano here, but the FOMO, the noise, the hype, it's all driven by the community members, not by the institution. Terra Luna, they're pretty new in the space. They just got up here, so I think they're going to have a pullback. They're going to consolidate for a long time. And XRP, well, who knows when the damn lawsuit's going to settle. There's been news of them pushing back the court case again, or at least the expectation of when it's going to settle to next year. And so I don't even think that's going to settle this year. So that's why I'm going Solana.
There's one right answer here, my friends. And that answer is the moon. Luna, baby. Terra Luna. Terra Luna. Robin talks about institutions and what projects are getting into outside of Bitcoin. And it's not Solana, it's Terra Luna. And I always say, follow the money. And there is, and we're going to go over an article in the talking points. There's over $500 billion that's going into, $500 million that's going into Terra Luna from institutional investors. You have the decentralized stablecoin. You have Bitcoin reserves. You have just the hype of Terra Luna. Robin talks about it being new. So is Solana. Solana's new. But guess what? Terra Luna doesn't have the issue Solana does. Or not yet. Hasn't had any. And just between the hype, the buzz, everything that's going on behind the scenes, Do Kwon, which is the founder of Terra Luna, extremely smart, solid. They have a clear-cut vision and direction for what they want Terra Luna to be. You had Thorchain just integrate Terra Luna into their ecosystem, so now you can swap from Bitcoin to Terra Luna or ETH to Terra Luna. It's just a lot is building up on Terra Luna, and I think the same thing happened to Solana, but they dropped the ball. I don't think that's going to happen to Terra Luna, and that is why I think Terra Luna will make up ground on that $2 billion they need to surpass Solana and get into that number 6 spot. So that's my take. Terra Luna is my answer. Rocco, what do you think? Terra Luna? Put a 1 in the chat if you're with Robin and you agree it's Solana. Put a 2 in the chat if you're with me and you agree that it's going to be Terra Luna. So I'm curious to see what the chat thinks.
You know, there's been a couple of people have put in there, what about Matic? So apparently they were upset Matic got left out of the fold on this one. You know what? Matic's outside.
Matic is too far out.
Where is Matic on
Matic is less than 10 billion in market cap.
How far down the list is it?
15, 16, 17.
So it would have to
3x.
3x.
More than 3x.
Yeah. Matic would have to 3x and the other 4 projects would have to stay where they're at.
Yeah. Now, Matic, still like the project.
Now, you make a good point. You know, I could see Matic getting up there. Just not this year.
Too much ground to make up.
You know, they're all reliant on what's going on with the Ethereum community. And I'm telling you, I got this vibe that this ETH 2.0, the upgrade of ETH, when it goes from proof of work to proof of stake, I think it's going to have that same vibe that people got when Cardano's smart contracts came out. And everyone was like, yo, when smart contracts come out, moonshot. And so this buzz around smart contracts was around at $1. And then right before contracts came out, that's when it hit all-time high over $3. And at that point, the smart contracts rolled out and it just kept tumbling because people were expecting this great evolution of Cardano and all these dApps and this ecosystem be thriving. And it just takes a while for it to roll out. And so I think Ethereum's going in the same boat. I think Ethereum is going to go from proof of work to proof of stake. People are going to be like, ah. And gas fees are still going to be the same. Transaction speed is still going to be the same. The only thing is that instead of miners getting rewards, the stakers are getting rewards. The gas fees don't go to the miners. The gas fees go to the staking pools. That's the only difference. And yes, it's going to be more efficient and it's going to be easier to upgrade later on, supposedly. So, you know, another step in the roadmap. It's all good direction, but I think it's going to fall short of what people's expectations are. And so for that reason, I think you're going to get a run up on Ethereum right before the launch of the 2.0, and then I think it's just going to tumble back down because it's going to under deliver for what people think it's going to get. So,
well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I think the whole narrative of their proof of work is bad for the environment is going to go bye-bye. So, you know.
But what? Okay, so explain to me if the gas fees don't change, which they're not going to, if it doesn't become any faster, which it's not going to.
It will become faster.
No, it doesn't become faster. The block, it finishes a block from 13 seconds down to 12 seconds. It's the only difference. So now you produce a block every 12 seconds instead of every 13 on average. So not necessarily any faster. The block size are still the same. The TPS doesn't change at this moment. And so, and the only positive I could think of is that that ETH becomes more deflationary at this point. But that takes a while for that day to. It's not like ETH's supply is going to be cut in half when they roll this out. So it's going to be a gradual slow. So what I'm just saying is that the narrative, and let me know if you disagree with me, but everyone expects ETH 2.0 to come out and ETH to pump, right?
Yes.
But the pump has to come with something in correlation.
Well, here's the thing, too, you got to think about. All the people that staked their ETH in the ETH 2.0 contract, they haven't been able to touch that money. They can't touch that money until ETH 2.0 is out.
No, even there's a 6-month lockup even afterwards.
Okay,
yeah.
so
and then the unlock portions of it. I think the first unlock is 3 months after the upgrade, and you're allowed to remove like 20% or something, or 25%, and then it goes up in steps. So then every few months. So you're not gonna be able to sell out. You're gonna be paid the mining rewards. You're gonna be able to remove that, I think.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, what is going to change? What is going to be so fundamentally? Because I watch these other YouTube channels and they're literally like, the price is this is going to literally, other channels are literally calling the ETH 2.0 the kickstart to the bull market. They're going to be like, the bull market will be back when ETH 2.0 rolls out. Everything's going to moonshot. That's literally the narrative on multiple channels. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what the hell is going to change? Because if the gas fees are still the same, the speed is still the same, like what's the issue here? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, let me hear the chat. Do you think ETH going to 2.0, given the parameters that I said, which I'll have to do a little bit more research, because I just came across this last week, that it really is pretty lackluster on the upgrade. But if the gas fees don't change, the speed doesn't get any faster, and there's really not too much a difference, how is this going to fundamentally kick off the bull market? That's what I got.
So I was reading this. Article, and it talks about how the move to proof of stake is supposed to bump their TPS up to 100,000 for ETH 2.0.
Well, so they're after the ETH 2.0, the next stage of the upgrade is to introduce sharding, and so sharding will, yes, but the sharding comes after. That's a different hard fork or soft fork, whatever you want to call it for this one.
So you don't include that as part of the...
That's not coming out the same day.
No, I know, but is that part of the 2.0 package?
No, the 2.0 is going from proof of work to stake. It's literally it. And knowing Ethereum, they're going to delay...
We're not going to see sharding until probably 2025.
There you go. You already see, you know where I'm going at with that one. So you're going to have the 2.0 rollout, the move to proof of stake. Hopefully there's no hiccups there. If there is, God forbid, then now everything else on the roadmap is going to be kicked down. They're going to kick that can down the road. Don't forget, late last year, Vitalik went in front of... Actually, maybe it was this year. Anyways, yeah, it was. It was at Colorado or Denver, wherever the hell. Anyways, which is Denver is in Colorado. But
the event is called ETH.
Yeah, I know. He was out there saying that he doesn't think Ethereum's gonna get to where ideally where he would like it to be for 6 years. That was literally, I don't know exactly what he said.
More like 10 years.
I don't know exactly how he phrased it, but basically he was like, yeah, guys, this is going to take like 6 years for this thing to upgrade to where it should be.
But hey, man, it's the largest largest smart contract platform for a reason.
But 6 years is a long time, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like even in emerging technologies, like if iPhone, could you imagine if the iPhone was like, hey man, we're not going to release a new iPhone till 2029? I'm just saying, like people would be like, what the hell y'all doing over there,
but
bro?
They're also releasing every 6 months. That's ludicrous.
Yeah, so
Speaking of Ludacris, did you like him as a rapper?
who didn't like Ludacris? Did you not like Ludacris?
I did. Did you like him in the Fast and Furious movies?
Yeah, he's not an actor. He's a rapper, bro.
You did. I thought he did pretty good. Anyways,
You know who was bad in the Fast and Furious? Was that Ja Rule? When he was like, Monica! You know what I'm talking about?
That was so bad, dude. That was terrible. I've seen some bad acting performances. That was one of the worst. Yeah, I mean, you know, ETH 2.0 is essentially the launch pad to improving Ethereum's network and scalability and transaction throughput.
You know where this even started? Will Polygon get to number 6?
No.
Wow. Yeah. So only with the upgrade of ETH and the proper upgrade with charting and everything else, and that's what I got. So there you go.
Let's move on. By the way, what I'm curious, what did the chat say? So I got 1, 2, 3. So 3 is Avalanche apparently. So looks like only Mark and Daniel have a comment to add. So Mark and Daniel, thank you. We appreciate you. Where are the rest of you at? Sleeping?
Where is everybody, bro? We only got 11 people in the chat.
This
is like our lowest viewership we've had in a couple weeks.
What I don't get.
Put a 1 in the chat if you don't like our show.
What I don't get is why do people run away when the markets are down? And only come to YouTube when the markets are up. I don't get it. Should be the opposite.
Yeah, you know,
like if the markets are down, you should want to know what's going on. Why is the market going down?
You should be buying when the market is down. And if you're buying, maybe you should be doing some research and figure out what you should be buying.
Like there was this moron I was talking to, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I had bought crypto back in 2016, and when the market crashed, I deleted all my apps, and I didn't look at it." I'm like, "Why?" Anyways, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you know.
All right.
I hear that story all the time.
It's like, dude,
you remember that other guy that we know?
Like running away from.
Remember the other dude we know? He was like, we're like, hey man, you still doing the crypto thing? He's like, man, I lost everything. I got $0. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I was in Doge and SHIB, and I tried to get into some other small altcoins and some other meme coins and Saitama, and he was just throwing out all these names, and I'm just like. And I'm like, what? He was like, I have $0 in crypto. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, did you buy any Bitcoin? He's like, no. And he looked at me like I was stupid. He's like, no. Like literally, like you just told me you lost every penny you had. And my rebuttal was, did you buy any Bitcoin? And then he looked at me like I insulted him. And I'm like,
people are enamored with price of coin. It doesn't matter. What matters is market cap. Anyways,
he said Winco prices. You ever been to Winco?
I've never been to Winco.
You know, they have a lot of, they sell like those, you know how like you go to the grocery store, they have those little bins where you can like scoop out like the peanuts and stuff?
Yeah.
They do that with like everything. They got like cat food in there and dog food and, flour and sugar. So you can just kind of like scoop everything. What if they had that for like crypto? Like you walk up to a bin, you're like buying Bitcoin by the pound, you know what I'm saying? Buy some Ethereum.
Little Ethereum, little Cardano, little Saitama.
You can make like a little portfolio bag. Like,
all right, we're moving on. Let's talk about some of the biggest happenings in the cryptocurrency markets. Our talking points.
Speaking of happening, you ever seen the movie The Happening? You know what I'm talking about? Is it Happening? Yeah, it was like the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Shyamalan?
That's the dude's name, bro. Why are you laughing at him?
It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. Dude,
M. Night
they had like
Shyamalan.
Mark Wahlberg in there, and everybody was just jumping off of buildings.
Don't you talk about Marky Mark.
And the whole thing was at the end, it was the wind. The wind was blowing in, and
You know a movie I watched? What's up? You know a movie
you
I
like
watched?
The Happening? Wow, what a
movie
terrible
I watched
movie.
last night with my wife on my way to bed, sleeping. Is have you ever seen Wild Things with Matt Dillon?
Bro, I grew up. That was my coming to adulthood. I'm just gonna put it that
Wild
way.
Things.
Yeah, that kissing scene in the in the pool.
Who was that? Who was that girl? She was pretty hot. What was her name? The one. Anyways, all right. Let's talk about our first article here. This was in our title and our thumbnail, as it should be, because it's huge news. Fidelity pushes Bitcoin further into mainstream by offering it for pension plans. Mutual fund giant Fidelity Investments is on track to allow customers to add Bitcoin to their 401k savings plans, according to a recent report. Now, I have some notes here. Why the shit does it do this all the time, man? Fuck. It went away. So, they are the largest mutual fund / 401k provider in the world. A little over $2 trillion of assets under management in just 401ks. Okay. Now they're going to be offering Bitcoin as part of people's 401ks. The move could potentially be a watershed moment for cryptocurrency adoption in the U.S., given that Fidelity is the #1 provider of pension plans in the country, and they manage retirement savings of more than 20 million people. Fidelity plans to start offering Bitcoin holding 401ks later this year. It will charge a fee of up to 0.9%. MicroStrategy, which is Michael Saylor's company who holds Bitcoin, has already signed on to the ambitious plans. Fidelity was one of the first major financial firms to dip its toes into crypto, and by that they mean they started mining Bitcoin all the way back in 2014. So, Robin,
here's my. I'll touch on this article, but I just want to say a quick point here. If MicroStrategy is enrolling in the 401k program, right, with Fidelity, so obviously we all know how that works. The employees, they put in Bitcoin, or they put into their retirement, their 401k, and the company matches it. So if the company's matching it, hear me out, are they selling Bitcoin? Because they gotta move the money from somewhere, and if all of their assets are in Bitcoin, right?
I don't think so.
Are they selling Bitcoin to fund the 401k matching?
Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. And they only match a certain percent anyways.
Yeah, I know.
So what are your thoughts, Robin?
This is absolutely game changing. Let's think about this. You have the largest retirement investment fund manager, Fidelity, in the world. The biggest in the U.S., obviously. And they have over $2 trillion worth of assets in 401ks alone. And they're offering up to 20% of your 401k to be allocated into Bitcoin. Woo! I mean, I tried to slow it down there and just kind of the largest retirement fund, like literally the largest. So the one that has the most accounts with all of the companies across America, the one that has the most account, the one that has the lion's share, is now offering Bitcoin as part of the 401k package, up to 20%. Absolutely huge. I mean, just think about
and
all
it's not just for the high net individuals.
everybody.
Yeah.
And so you got this point here where you have the traditional blue collar worker that's not invested in a crypto. There's a lot of these people. This is a majority of the working class, or people that are not investing. People that have a savings account, they have a 401k, and they essentially work paycheck to paycheck, right? You know, they make ends meet. They have extra. They put it in a savings. Think of like your union employees. Think of the people working at the shipyards, at the coal mines, Here in Vegas, we have the culinary union. So you think of all these union employees that automatically are automatically enrolled in retirement and pension funds, and all of that now can be tied in with Bitcoin, and you can hedge your retirement with Bitcoin. And so absolutely huge. Fidelity is pretty progressive in comparison to the other investment funds. So,
and they're the most pro crypto.
But now this still falls. Now here's the thing. The 401ks are set up essentially through the employer. So don't get it twisted. Basically you still got to go to your employer and be like, hey man, how much of this 401k you got allocated into Bitcoin? More than likely they're going to say zero. And more than likely they're going to stay zero for some of these old school style companies. So first step, but the next step is if your company has a 401k and you have a company through your 401k and your company uses Fidelity, which is more likely than not because they're the largest, you know what you should do? You go down to whatever higher up, whatever board member channel you can get to, and you say, hey, I want you guys to buy Bitcoin or at least get exposure to it through our 401k. Go 5%, do 2%. Start off with something. And then you can go up to 20%, but there you
go. And it's just the beginning, right? It always takes one person to take that leap of faith, and that one person is Fidelity. And then you're going to have the rest follow. All the big mutual funds, all the big hedge funds, 401ks, IRAs. There's another program out there. I used to sell insurance and securities, so that was a long time ago.
What about food stamps? It's another program.
So it's exposure. And what I like about it the most is it's not something, we're going to offer Bitcoin investing, but only to high net worth individuals. This is the regular working people can now have access and exposure to Bitcoin through their retirement savings plans. I'm not a big believer in 401ks unless your company matches. But if your company matches and you have the option of diverting some of that money to Bitcoin.
Imagine if you could dollar cost, because essentially you're dollar cost averaging, right? So just imagine you get paid twice a week. I DCA in Bitcoin twice a month. I mean, I said twice a week, but I DCA. So I got my automatic buys 1st and the 15th. So on the 1st and 15th, let's just say I put in $1,000. We'll just say that. Just throw out a number. It's not what I put in, but just say I put in $1,000.
You put in a lot less.
Put in
like $20.
$15. I get to a point. I'm like, should I get a GameStop gift card or some Bitcoin?
You know what I did yesterday? Oh. My wife's nephew, he just turned 13. It was his birthday. I was like, I'm going to send you $25 in Bitcoin. So he came over to my house. I helped him set up a Trust wallet on his phone, and he was so excited. And I sent him $25 in Bitcoin. I helped him write his seed phrase down. I'm going to steal it back later. Just kidding. And it was just exciting for me to help a 13-year-old kid who's so excited and wants to learn about it, set up a wallet, and now he's a proud owner of $25 in Bitcoin.
So
that was cool.
Yeah. So dollar cost average, man. Your
dollar cost have a wallet?
What's
your kids have a Bitcoin wallet? Mine don't.
No, they don't.
I'm gonna get them one. Though.
So I have the 2 buys, but now if you have a company that matches up to $1,000, let's say that's kind of realistic. If you're working somewhere that they usually match up to I think it's $250 usually.
No, it's a percentage. Usually 6%,
it's a percentage.
6%.
I'm just saying for the standard
make
worker.
the numbers easy. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say. Anyways, if they're matching, if you're putting in $500 a paycheck into your 401k or a month, and they match it, you're literally just doubling your dollar cost average. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So instead of me buying my $1,000 at the 1st and the 15th, I'm buying $2,000 on the 1st and the 15th. I'm doubling up. I'm picking up 2 times as much Bitcoin as before. Now, yes, now it's only 20% at the moment. But
now, if you were a large company, Robin, or a large corporation, would you use this as advertising? Say, hey, we know inflation's high, but here you have an asset that over time, if you're with our company for 4 years and you invest in our 401k,
why not? I mean, you advertise healthcare. When somebody sits down in an interview, when you sit down in an interview, the employer's usually like, if they have it, they're like, hey man, we got dental, vision, we got full healthcare. You get 2 weeks off right off the rip for vacation. Next up is going to be like, hey, and we match Bitcoin, baby. We match your dollar cost average Bitcoin. Like, that would be some gangster ass shit right there, bro. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing, dude. Think about all the people that now maybe they won't, allocate any of their money into Bitcoin, but at least it's in front of them. They have access to it. They know about it. They hear about it. And when a company like Fidelity gets behind it, that just gives credibility to Bitcoin, to our space. Like, what excites me the most, and I think a lot of people lose sight of this, is it's kind of like if, when the Eiffel Tower was being built, something historic, and you were literally there every single day watching them put the bricks up and building this massive skyscraper of a freaking world-known statue, whatever you want to call it, and you're watching it happen every single day, and you see the work that goes into it.
I actually saw them building it.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying I saw it, man. I was there. Okay. The one here in Vegas. They built it in the 90s. I was here. I saw the creation. I saw them laying the iron beams, and it's actually it's an exact replica, 50% of the size, by the way. So,
all right. I was going to make a really good point, but I guess Robin's bullshit matters more. Let's move on.
You going to let me end your point, bro? I was just saying they have the Eiffel Tower here at Paris Hotel. I know. Las Vegas Strip. It's a beauty.
All right.
You got a restaurant in the middle, too.
We're piggybacking on Fidelity, and we're going to MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy will be the first to allow employees to invest in Bitcoin as part of 401k plan. Bitcoin will be held in the Fidelity Digital Asset Custody Platform as a security measure. So essentially, they're going to be custodying Bitcoin. Big. This is what Michael Saylor said. MicroStrategy looks forward to working with Fidelity to become the first public company to offer their employees the option to invest in Bitcoin as part of our 401k program. He goes on to, this is from Dave Gray, who is the head of workplace retirement offerings at Fidelity. As a leader in digital assets, we are thrilled to be the first to offer employers exposure to Bitcoin for the core lineup of 401ks that reflects our commitment to meeting their evolving needs and our belief in the promise of blockchain technology for the financial industry's future. According to a survey conducted by Fidelity, 30% of U.S. institutional investors prefer buying an investment product that contains crypto like Bitcoin. 30% prefer to buy a product that contains Bitcoin. In the same breath, Fidelity estimates over 80 million investors in the U.S. currently own or have invested in the asset class, showing clear signals for existing and growing market share for institutional investors. To no one's surprise, MicroStrategy will become the first publicly traded company to integrate Fidelity's new 401k Bitcoin into and offer it to their employees. So, Robin, what are your thoughts?
It got me thinking. Do you think they give bonuses out in Bitcoin as well?
I would want my bonus in Bitcoin.
Because I feel like they just got Bitcoin just laying around. Like, there's just USB sticks, like, in Saylor's, like, office. And he's just, like...
There's a vault. Instead of money, like, there's just Arculus cards.
Yeah, there's just, like, hardware wallets everywhere, just sprung around the floor. And he's just like, how much do I got on this one?
Oh, it was $20 million here.
No, it's no. You know what? It's no surprise. MicroStrategy is like the first. The news broke this morning, and then MicroStrategy is like, "Hey, sign us up." And so I'm a little surprised at the speed. You know, because obviously you're a publicly traded company. You have a lot of employees. And, you know, traditionally with the a business, when it comes to 401k changes, it's a sensitive subject. So usually you got to take your time with that. So surprised, but not surprised. I'm just surprised that they literally didn't even they probably didn't even poll anybody. Michael Saylor's just like, this is happening? Like, this was happening. So there you go. Yeah, so with 401k, you don't pay taxes. With the exception when you cash out, you do. Well, you what's that? Oh, yeah. Probably does.
I don't know shit about taxes, so I don't want to talk on that. But
Well,
as far as
company that big, you get all kinds of tax loopholes.
But with 401ks, you can set it up to where you either get a deduction and pay taxes now, or pay taxes later, or pay taxes now and then don't pay taxes when you pull out. So you have those options. But anyways, MicroStrategy employees, congratulations. I hope every other corporation, every other large business entity in the U.S. follows suit and at least have the option, right? I'm not saying force it down people's throats, but let it be an option for people who want to do it to dip their toes in it. Maybe they want to do 5% or 2%. Something better than nothing. All right, moving on. So we talked about Australia's ETF, and we talked about how all this money was coming in. Well, guess what? They pulled an ETH. Got delayed. Got postponed. So the launch of Australia's first Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, also known as an ETF, has been delayed, according to a report by the Australian Financial Review. However, it's been now postponed indefinitely. Indefinitely. I don't like that word, indefinitely.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cboe Australia claims that, quote, standard checks are still being completed. An unnamed third-party broker is reportedly stalling the listing. Anyone want to speculate on who might have their hands in this third-party broker? Could it be Peter Schiff? Elizabeth Warren?
You're saying U.S. regulators are manipulating the Australian?
Hey, would it surprise you? No.
No, I thought you were going to say like Barefoot Wine, maybe... what other Australian products are there?
It's all the kangaroos got together and said, we ain't doing this. It is worth noting.
Have you ever had Barefoot Wine?
No, it's disgusting.
Is it? No, it's not Barefoot. It's the Aussie Tail. Aussie Tail. Which one's the wine that has a kangaroo?
But there is a Barefoot one.
The Barefoot
Yellowtail.
Yellowtail, yeah. Yellowtail wine coming from Australia. You seen this Yellowtail before,
Rocco?
Rocco?
Thing that's come out of Australia,
bro. It's so bad, bro. It's the gas station wine. You ever go to the gas station, you see the wines there, and then they have like the kangaroo.
What's worse, gas station wine or gas station sushi?
Ooh, at least the wine you can cook with it. Dude, quick. Here, pull this. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Story time. Let's go. Story time. I got a good one here. Let's go. It's been a while.
You like cute with the glasses. You look so
All right.
That's such a cringe picture, man.
You know, I grew up in, I'll just say, an area that was not so wealthy. Okay. I don't want to go out and proclaim that I grew up in the hood or something, but let's just say, didn't grow up in the nice suburbs. Okay. And so I had one of my friends I grew up with in Virginia. He hadn't seen him in a while. And so I moved out here to Vegas, and I became a certified sommelier. If you're not sure what a sommelier is, it's basically the wine expert. So you go to a fancy restaurant,
the wine snob.
Yeah, the guy, you're looking at this big book of wines. There's like hundreds of bottles of wines in there. And you're like, hey, what am I looking at? Can you point me in the right direction? I like this type of wine. Anyways, I was the guy that would walk up and kind of walk you through and kind of find out what you like to drink and make some suggestions. Anyways, my buddy comes to visit. And so my buddy comes from Virginia. And anyways, he's like, what's your address? Whatever.
I've heard this.
He's like, what's your address? And I'm like, give him my address. And so he shows up at 1:30 in the morning. Just rings my doorbell, and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm awake. But anyways, I wake up, I open my door, and lo and behold, there's my friend Corey I grew up with. He's standing at my gate, and he's got 2 babies and his wife. And I'm like, he's like, Robin! And I'm like, what's up, bro? And then I open the door.
You didn't say hola?
And I did not say hola. That's a new thing. So I open the door, and he's got this giant bottle of Barefoot wine, like one of those Magnum ones. Oh, God. And it was a rosé. And he was like, bro, he's like, I heard you like wine, man. I got you something. And I'm like,
You were already a Psalm at this point?
yeah. And I was just like, oh, okay. But you know what? I sat out there, and it was a summer night, and I sat outside of my courtyard, and we drank the Barefoot rosé. And you know what? At the time, at 1:30 in the morning, with my buddy there, it was actually really good. It hit the spot, man.
It was really good.
It was really good.
You lost. Give me your Psalm badge back.
But no, it's surprisingly. It's like the.
I am reporting you to the court of master sommeliers. They're going to revoke your.
It's like being a beer guy, you know, the Cicerone or whatever, you know, the beer expert, and you know, just enjoying a Coors Light with your friend, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, sometimes you got to dumb yourself down. You know, sometimes you got to go. You know, you don't have
drink Coors Light are dumb.
You know, I'm just saying that, you know, if you want to make a good pasta, you know, making the pasta from scratch, but it's not. Sometimes it's okay to take that box pasta and throw it in that boiling water. It's okay. It's all right.
Who's got fucking time to make pasta from scratch?
It's pretty easy.
You are about as
it's
bougie
like,
as
it's like
it gets,
2
dude.
ingredients, bro. It's water and flour.
Yeah, and then rolling it and then cutting it. I don't have time for that shit, bro. Just give me the box stuff.
We got
over here.
Yeah.
So this one, you got to roll it up like this. It's a rotioli pasta. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Pasta master in here.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got a pasta maker at the house. I got the hand crank one. I also got the one that goes on top of my mixer. I'm telling you, it's very easy.
We're literally losing viewers. So yesterday, huge news broke towards the end of our show. Elon Musk, his proposal to buy Twitter was approved by the Twitter board of directors. So we have an article talking about it. Jack Dorsey, who was the founder of Twitter, which recently stepped away, praises Elon Musk's Twitter buy, saying Elon is the singular solution. Twitter shouldn't have an overlord, its founder and on-again, off-again CEO Jack Dorsey tweeted late Monday. But if it must, that person is Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. Elon is a singular solution I trust, Dorsey said to the social media company's impending change in ownership. He also goes on to say, in principle, I don't believe anyone should own or run Twitter. It wants to be public. It wants to be a public good at a protocol level, not a company. Solving for the problem of it being a company, however, requires Elon and Elon alone. For his part, Musk has pledged to prioritize free speech on Twitter, a message of open dialogue that Dorsey praised. My question is this. I think I'll let that man, Donald Trump, back on Twitter.
You know, his thing is free speech, man. You know, you can't just pick and choose which free speech you like. So, I mean, if your thing is, hey, we're going to not censor anybody, the real Donald J. Trump account will be reinstated, right?
Yeah. I mean, should.
Man,
all things fair.
You know what? The world was more entertaining when Donald Trump had Twitter. I mean, tell me, like, I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Donald Trump, the COVID lockdowns, the C-word lockdowns would have been a lot more difficult if it wasn't for Donald J. Trump. Because they even stopped filming sitcoms and like TV shows and movies. You couldn't go to the movies. So your entertainment was CNN's press briefing when Donald J. Trump walked up to the podium. And also when he wasn't at the podium, he was over here just tweeting like a little 16-year-old. He's just like that was gold, bro. That was gold. Whether or not you like the man or not, you cannot say
it was not entertaining.
And you know what? I watched some. I watched some feedback from some of the news hosts when it came to Donald Trump, and they were like, "Man, we never got numbers like we did when Trump was in office. Like everybody was tuning to CNN." everybody was at our website trying to see what this guy was going to say next.
DMZ
and
just blew up.
So yeah, man, it's definitely been a lot more tame on the news side.
Are you happy, that Elon Musk bought Twitter? Do you think?
I mean, you have to be, right? Now, I mean, how he bought Twitter, a little scary, right? Basically, you got to do it a lot of money. He's all like, hey, man, this social media platform, that's cool. I want it. I mean, right? That's what he did, right?
Yeah.
That's what he did. So that's a little scary. What happens if China decides they want to buy a company? You get where I'm getting at? Or let's just say another powerful person that you might not like. What if, kind of joking aside, what if Donald Trump would have bought it? Then he would have been kind of pushing his narrative around, right? And so that kind of scares me. But
do you like Elon?
you know what? I might not. I don't like his personality, but you can't undersell what this man has built. He is the fastest growing, and now I think the richest electric car company, or the most profitable
in the world.
Or sales for electric car company. It's surpassed General Motors. I don't know if they surpassed General Motors on sales, but at least in growth. And he's built SpaceX. He's literally taking over an entire government agency, NASA. Literally, it was just like, NASA, you guys don't know what you're doing. Let me show you how this is done. Let's build some rockets.
That's literally what's happening.
And so
Starlink, man. Starlink.
And then he has, the Starlink. So the dude has a track record, right? Of literally reinventing a sector. He reinvented the automobile industry. He reinvented how aeronautic, astrophysics, and aeronautical engineering. There it is. So he co-founded PayPal, the first mainstream payment platform that was not run by the credit cards.
The biggest point. He is the Doge father.
And you know what? He was one of the first. He was one of the first
offering 401k.
He was one of the first people to. He was one of the first people to
sleep barefoot,
to buy Bitcoin. Publicly traded company, and he bought 1.5 billion. He still owns it. He didn't sell his Bitcoin. No,
I know, but he's the reason Bitcoin.
But he's got a business to run. He's still a businessman, and you know what? If the board and everybody's like, "Yo, this ESG, bro, you were not ESG compliant. Man. There's a lot of FUD. Like, dude, this ain't good. We're supposed to be an electric car company. We're supposed to be green."
ESG stuff is scary, man. It's literally controlled by one person.
Yeah.
And that person has the sway to literally shut down companies like Facebook and Google.
So, anyway, with the track record, I think he's gonna, and I love the fact that he's gonna make it private. Because then at this point, the biggest problem with Twitter right now, the biggest problem with any of the social media platforms, is the fact that they're reliant on delivering numbers. Because you look at Netflix, what happened to Netflix? Their subscriber count went down, and so did their stock. And the big problem with Twitter is all of the bots, all these fake accounts. So if you delete the fake accounts, and all of a sudden your Q4, you show that you have 70% less users, and what's going to happen to the stock?
Right.
But if it's private, you don't give a damn. You're going to be like, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we went from 1 million accounts to 250, but we got rid of 750
bots.
Bot accounts. So that I am looking forward to, because there's a lot of people I try to message on because we're a young and growing channel here, and so we're trying to bring people of quality, people of reputation and stature here on the show. And one of the easiest ways to connect with people is through their Twitter account. But if they're too big, you try to DM them on Twitter. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, your message is now lost in an inbox with 10,000 other messages. Yeah. So
you'll have zero luck in that.
Trillionaire? Oh, it's going to be Elon Musk. Which one do you think is going to catch more traction? The Boring Company that Elon Musk started, the tunnel.
And what is that Boring Company?
It's
is it really that boring?
He's Elon Musk, as soon as something frustrates him, he's like, I'm just going to build a company. He was stuck in traffic in LA. No, this is an actual story. So Elon Musk was stuck in traffic and he was just like, why can't I just build a tunnel under this road and just drive to where I need to go? And he was like, ding. He was like, you know what? We're going to do an underground tunnel system that transports cars and trains and stuff. And yeah. And that's actually a working company now. So.
It's called the Boring Company?
Yeah, boring is the term for tunneling.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know those machines that have like the grinding gears in the front and they like spin and they dig holes? That's a boring machine.
So it's not actually boring.
It's BOARING, I think it's something like that. Or EING. So I don't know. Anyways. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
You know what? We actually gained some viewers off of this subject. So must not be that boring.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
Next article. 80% of institutions are bullish on crypto's future, a survey finds. The company Crypto Pulse's survey also discovered that 54% of retail investors believe that crypto will overtake traditional currencies within the next 10 years. The survey results show that crypto is a long game and we need to be building for the next 50 to 100 million customers, Bitstamp CEO told Blockworks. The industry needs to enable the infrastructure that supports the next wave of investors. The survey reflects the opinion of roughly 28,000 respondents, about 5,000 being institutional investment strategy decision makers and 23,000 retail investors across 23 countries. 67% of retail respondents believe crypto is a trustworthy investment. 70% of institutional investors say they trust it as well. So almost 70% for retail and institutions say they trust crypto. They believe it's a trustworthy investment. DeFi investment vehicles, including stablecoins, NFTs, and blockchain networks, have trust ratings a little lower at 60% across retail and institutional investors. So they trust crypto, Bitcoin more than they trust DeFi and NFTs, which, I don't blame them. So very bullish, very bullish. Robin, do you have anything? Any substance to add? Not your BS, but any substance to add to this?
You're saying my BS is not substance?
No. Majority of it is not.
I have a gift, It's when I need to stall, like, so let's just say that, like, if you're in a room, we're like, look, man, I need you to keep these guys occupied for 45 minutes while I do something in the back. If that scenario ever pops up, you unleash me in there and I'll be like, what's up, guys? Hola!
Hola for 45 straight minutes.
And then they're going to be like, yo, who is this guy? He came and he started talking about wine. Next thing he's talking about exporting diesel gasoline across the planet. Like
talking about llama spitting everywhere.
No surprise. You know what? There's been a lot more. I'm telling you, if you were to rewind back to 2018, just 5 years ago, a lot of people had no idea what cryptocurrency was.
Yeah.
They've heard of Bitcoin. They maybe have even heard the term blockchain, but realistically, most of the people had no exposure to cryptocurrency and simply heard about Bitcoin. And now survey is saying 80% of institutions are bullish, not just the retail. And, the Fidelity said that 80% of Americans have either purchased or have purchased or want to purchase cryptocurrency. And so we see where the space is going. We see where the chat is going. We're at 16 viewers. Are we going to get to 30?
I'm usually an optimist, but I'm going to say no.
Dangle wants to know, Pat's Blue Ribbon or cheap wine? Which one are you going to go? Cheap beer or cheap wine? Where are you going to go, David?
Cheap beer.
Yeah, you got to go cheap beer. Cheap beer is actually...
cheap wine will give you a headache.
Yeah,
Make you throw up.
Here's the thing. Like I said, I'm a sommelier. And cheap wine is actually cheap beer is made in large batches. It's 3 ingredients, whatever. Cheap wine, however, is more of a chemical process. There's a lot of additives and colorings and chemicals to add acidity. Anyways, well, for your health, stay away from cheap wine.
Yeah. Robin's also a health guru, apparently. So I don't have much to add to this article. Just, not every article, we're going to have a lot to say on. Well, Robin could say a lot about anything. Talk to him about cookies and he'd be like, oh, sorry, the cookies. But what I'm trying to say is...
I brought some cookies into the office.
This article was kind of meant to show you guys where the sentiment of the market, the retail, the institutional investors is right now. And it's really good. So don't get caught up in short-term price movement, Bitcoin dropping 8%, but just focus on the big picture. And the big picture is exciting.
When you look at the markets, you got to look at that Terra Luna chart, bro.
Well, speaking of Terra Luna, what a great segue that was, Robin.
Is that the next article?
Fireblocks institutional clients pour $500 million in a DeFi on Terra in 1 week. Now, I kind of briefly mentioned this during our hot take segment. The company has seen crazy demand for DeFi on Terra from its institutional clients through its early access program that is available to crypto hedge funds, venture capital firms, and high net worth individuals. Michael Shaloff, who is the CEO of Fireblocks, said, once we released the capability to access DeFi on Terra, we've seen this kind of crazy demand. So over $250 million was deployed in the first 72 hours. And I think it's exactly a week now that there's been $500 million of transactions into Terra from our platform. He expressed optimism about the direction of stablecoins such as Terra's UST, saying, you don't need me to say the model around stablecoins and specifically what Terra is doing is somewhat experimental. If you're asking me if there's a place for this innovation around stablecoins, I think that answer is yes. DeFi on Terra is now available to Fireblocks' over 1,000 institutional clients. Today is an institution day. And Kevin O'Leary talks about this all the time. He talks about institutions. Once the spigots of money open up and institutions start coming in, we're talking trillions of dollars that are going to pour into the market. And I kind of feel like everything we're reading and seeing is leading up to that point. So, Robin, you want to change your answer to who's going to be number 6 now that you've read this article?
No, it's not going to be Terra Luna, man. I'm telling you, they had too big of a run up, too fast. They're going to consolidate and or drop down and... yeah. Just your classic run up and sell off, bro.
You got anything to add to this article?
Fireblocks, huge company. If you're not familiar with Fireblocks, just know they're like the #1 custodial service when it comes to institutions. And so if they're going all in on Terra Luna, obviously not all in, but if their
clients are,
if they're offering exposure on that, nothing but great juju.
$250 million in 72 hours, man. First 72 hours. People are chomping at the bit, dude. I'm telling you, they're chomping at the bit.
The only thing, look at this cell. Pull up my laptop real quick. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look at that. Terra Luna it had already dropped down.
$89.
It had already dropped down to 90. It dropped down to 90 before this sell off, and then just even worse timing for Terra, man. This thing is just, with the market going the way it is, it just snowballed it. So sitting at under $89, man. You want some exposure to Terra? Now's the time.
You think $88 is a good entry point?
I think, as I said, I think Bitcoin's going to 36,000, and Bitcoin hits 36,000. You're going to see Terra Luna lower, maybe. I don't know. But then again, Terra Luna does bounce back in bear markets because people stablecoin. So I mean, I don't know, maybe $82.
We'll see what happens.
I think $82 is realistic.
Yeah, and we're kind of if you actually pull up my laptop, Rocco, just to kind of see, Robin mentioned buying Terra Luna, but so this is the 1 hour chart. Now, when you go shorter time frame, the support and resistance levels aren't as significant as if you were to be on a higher time frame. But on this 1 hour chart, we're literally right here, 88 bucks. And then you can look that this has been a
what's that trend line you drew at the bottom there?
This
What's
one?
that price target?
This one is at $88.
88. So do you think if we break under 88, it's gonna recoup back on that descending trend line there as well? Do you think it's gonna kind of bounce off of that thing?
Well, if we extrapolate this out,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if it drops down, it would
you're
hit
gonna
like
87
80,
bucks.
86.
Again, this is the 1 hour chart. If we go back to the day chart, that's actually a better place to look. You kind of see it does translate, even though it's more micro. But if we so this level of support here. So just doing a little TA real quick. So if you look here, right, this has been resistance, and now it's shown to be support. So we've been there for about 3 days. And if I draw a trend line from here, so 3 days, and this price target is 86 bucks. So again, this is on the 1 day chart. So a little more, you can depend on it a little more as far as it holding more value and it holding more. I can't.
So do you think it'll stay over 86 then? So you're saying that's a major. I mean, you got all
it's not
kinds
a
of touches.
major one. It's not. I mean, the major one I would say is more like 46 bucks. If you want to talk major, even most recently you got $76. But I'm saying, we've been accumulating here for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Yeah, and this is that 20-day moving average. So, yeah. Terra Luna. Like, I believe in the project long term, so I don't mind picking some up at 88. And if it goes back down to this level right here, 77, I'll buy some at 77. If it gets down to 48, I'll buy some at 48. So if you keep dollar cost, here's the point, right? If you keep dollar cost averaging, you're going to pick up the highs, you're going to pick up the lows. And the idea is average. It averages itself out, and you get a better entry point over the long term. So that's what I've been doing with Bitcoin. And my average price of Bitcoin right now is around $43,000. I bought a lot towards the higher 50s. Don't ask why. And then I started buying a lot too when it got to the 30s. So it's kind of starting to even out more now. So there's one more article I want to talk about, and then we'll go on to our market analysis. So what major sports are paying athletes in crypto? After suffering significant losses due to issues stemming from the C-word pandemic, the sports industry has turned to crypto to recoup its losses and help fans stay connected with clubs in today's socially distanced world.
Real quick, does that guy in the blue, does he look like Kanye West? He looks like Kanye West.
It kind of does look like Kanye West. Yeah. That is Kanye West. Over the past 18 months, countless deals and sponsorships have been reported between Web3 projects and sports teams. And if things go as planned, this might be just the tip of the iceberg for these two industries. The sports betting landscape is also getting much attention from the blockchain industry. With crypto sports betting, people can bet on the outcomes of sports events or league rankings paid out in crypto such as Bitcoin, ETH, or Litecoin. While this might not sound revolutionary, it has a significant impact on crypto adoption. Crypto sports betting allows for a safer betting experience for sports fans so that a sportsbook can enjoy enhanced security, something that traditional betting methods failed to provide. Moreover, since crypto can be accepted virtually anywhere, people from across the globe can participate. Potentially significant reason for players, and then talks about salary in Bitcoin with athletes. A potentially significant reason for players accepting these deals is the rising inflation rate of the US dollar, which effectively decreases the value of their paycheck over time. Saquon Barkley, who is the running back for the New York Giants, in explaining his decision to take his money in Bitcoin, said, quote, "You see inflation, you see how high it is right now, and you learn that you can't save yourself to wealth. That's why I'm going to that's why I'm going to be taking my marketing money in Bitcoin." And then here are some other people. Russell Okung, he played for the Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. You have my boy Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, the rookie sensation, the #1 pick from Clemson University. Sean Culkin, he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. Shohei Ohtani is the Japanese legend, playing baseball for the Los Angeles Angels. Cade Cunningham, which is a rookie, playing for the Detroit Pistons. And then you have Andre Iguodala, has been around for a while. Plays for the, no idea who plays for, Golden State Warriors or something like that. So we're going to see more and more of this. And what do people like? They look at what their idols do, right? I'm not saying you should idolize athletes, right? But people do. And so do as I say or do as I do, not as I say. Well, they're going to say it and they're actually doing it. So I think more and more retail is going to start looking at what major players with a lot of money are doing. Because if Bill Gates, who's got a shitload of money and he created Microsoft and this and that, he starts investing in crypto, then you're going to sit there and be like, well, I should probably invest in crypto. And same thing with these athletes. So, Robin?
Yeah, it's I got not too much to add to this one.
Okay.
I think it's
Pretty straightforward.
it's gonna keep growing. So now it's a handful of athletes.
Yep.
And I think I think we're gonna see a lot more hybrid though. Like people taking 20% of their paycheck and Bitcoin instead of just like all in. I think it'll be kind of normal to get a portion.
See? All right. We are done with our talking points. We are moving on to our very last segment of our show, the market analysis. So I'm going to be highlighting 3 coins, 3 projects that I am looking at accumulating during this market crash. And I'll go over that in a second, but I want to go over the entire market as a whole, see where we're at from the beginning of the show. So, Rocco, if you pull up my laptop, I have CoinGecko pulled up. I like CoinGecko because it shows you what's happening over the last hour, not just 24 hours and 7 days. So, over the last hour, Bitcoin is still down. We're at $38,342. Same thing with ETH. Over the last hour, the only thing that's moving is Radix, Kusama, and Harmony. And that's pretty much it. Tezos is moving a little bit, but everything else is in the red. You have the total volume over $108 billion. If you pull up the chart and we go to 7 days, 30 days. So you can see here, the highest we've gotten over the last 30 days has been $116 billion in total volume for the entire cryptocurrency market cap. And we haven't seen highs like this since Wednesday. We're at 106. So now we're at 108. And Bitcoin dominance has fallen to 39%. So under 40% for Bitcoin dominance. ETH dominance still holding steady over 18%. Now, what coins am I looking to buy and why? So I'm using our friend Forrest, CryptoStackers.pro. We have the link in our description of this video. So the first one we're looking at is Cardano. We talk about Cardano all the time, but I'll tell you why I'm looking to buy some Cardano at the current levels. So if we throw on the easy bands, this essentially tells us when we are oversold and overbought. You can see typically when we get into this green zone between the solid and the dash green easy bands, great time to accumulate. We are almost there. You can see we're almost there. We're about 7 or 8 cents away from that. But that's not why I am buying Cardano. The reason why I'm buying Cardano is risk to reward. What is my risk to my reward of buying Cardano at current prices? And if we throw on Forest Sunsa levels, which essentially gives us risk to reward, you can see this 3-to-1 long level right here. So what this essentially means is for every $1 you invest in Cardano at 79 cents, you're expected to gain $3 back in return. So amazing risk to reward. And this is what professional traders and professional companies that, asset managers, this is the stuff they look at when they look at what projects they're getting into. It may not be crypto. It could be just stocks. What price target, what to get into. They look at risk to reward. How much money do I have to risk in order to get X amount of dollars in return? And right now, looking at Cardano, you're at the 3-to-1 level, 79 cents. If you really wanted to wait, we're at 83 cents right now. If you want to wait 4 cents, go ahead. But if you're planning on doing it anyways, and of course, none of this is financial advice, you just go ahead and pull the trigger literally right now. If I throw on If we take these away, now remember that that 79 cent level. If I throw on the margin pressure level, we're literally right at the 1x short. So that's at 82 cents. So a lot of confluence between risk to reward, margin pressure level. We're nearing the oversold territory on the easy bands. All this stuff tells us now would be a great entry point for Cardano. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying go out and buy Cardano. Always invest only where you're willing to lose. And just understand that technical analysis is never 100%. It's barely 60, 70%. But it tells us sentiment of the market and what we should expect. The next one I'm looking at is Polygon Matic. So if we go down here, we find our old friend Polygon. So for Polygon, right, I'm going to kind of go through the same exact process. We're going to throw on the easy bands. We're going to see where we're at in terms of being oversold or overbought. Oh, look at that. We are right at this dashed green easy band. And unlike Cardano, the dashed band seems to provide a good level of support. We saw here back in July of last year. We wicked down here in February of this year. And now, although we're not there yet, we're pretty freaking close. And so for me, when I look at investing in projects, if it's 1 or 2% away from the exact precise price target, I don't mind getting in. Now, doesn't mean I'll put everything in at once, but I don't mind laddering in a little bit before it hits those levels. And then for this one, we're going to throw on the sunset level. Same thing. We're going to look at risk to reward. Let's see. Take the low here. And we take the high here. So right now, currently, I've crossed under 2 to 1 as far as risk to reward. And once we get to this 3 to 1, you can see, bam, here. Great support, great support. Dipped a little under here in September of last year, but it came right back up. So Polygon, another great asset to be able to get into right now as far as price target. And if you throw on the 21-day moving average, we are well below it. So great time to enter on Polygon. And the last one I want to look at is one of my favorite projects because the community just destroyed me when I did a deep dive on them. Robin, what am I talking about?
Yo, Hedera Hashgraph.
Hedera Hashgraph. All right. So
H-bar.
If I take everything off and we do the same thing, right? Margin or easy bands. Again, right at this dashed green easy band. You can see here, dipped a little under, came right back up. Dipped a little under, came right back up. Consolidated here for about 10 days and then shot right back up. And now we're getting close to that stage again. And I already have this one drawn out on Hedera. So if you take a look at Hedera here, again, risk to reward 3 to 1. If you get in Hedera at 16.36 cents, you're looking at a 3 to 1 risk to reward on your trade. So you put in $100, you could expect to get back $300, and put $1,000, so on and so forth. So Hedera is another one, super cool project. They're mostly focused on enterprises. They have a lot of big partnerships as far as node validators. You got JP Morgan Chase, Boeing. I believe Google is one of them. Binance is one of them. So they got a lot of big corporations, institutions behind them, which is only going to help drive the adoption of not just the Hedera network, but cryptocurrency as well. That's all I got.
That's it?
Else? Yeah, that's it. So Hedera, Polygon, Cardano, 3 tokens I am looking at accumulating at current prices.
What about that Bitcoin?
Oh, Bitcoin we're always looking to accumulate, right?
Right.
So,
all right. Well, we got to what, like 18 viewers today?
18,
yeah. Do y'all not like us?
They love us, bro.
Where's everybody at?
Markets are down.
Ever since we stopped doing the blockchain parlay, which we put on pause, it's not gone forever. Calm down.
Okay, those people will come back.
Yeah, they left. Where's Alina at? Alina,
Paul,
you only come around for the blockchain parlay.
Yeah, it's okay.
We miss you.
So tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Vegas time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, our Theta deep dive will be live on YouTube. So make sure you guys watch it, share it, like it, comment what you think. Theta's such a cool project. A lot of fun doing that one. So that one's coming out. Also, Crypto.com was released last Wednesday. Make sure you do the same thing. Check it out, like it, share the video. It came out really good. And we are like 100 hours away from becoming YouTube partners. Almost there, my friends. We're almost there. So help us out. Grow with us. We always talk about it, but we want our community to grow with us as we grow because we're going to the moon, baby. We want you to come with us. Mr. Producer, roll the outro, please. We hope you guys had a good time today. We hope you learned today. On behalf of myself, Robin, Stereo 2, a.k.a. Rocco. We love you guys, and we will see you tomorrow, 10:38 Vegas time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on the island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next, I won't, not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lady. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your